easily, probably, back away, go get some water, do something else. Wouldn't it be better to hold Allen, Vokalek, Manning, Betts, Martin, Rogers, Polar Gates, and other injured and nicked players out of this unwinnable game and give them more time to be ready for Michigan State, which might be a winnable game? But no. No.
Well, what does that tell you about your faith in your team? Number one, what kind of message does that send to the people on the outside?
If you can play, you can play. Like that's always been my rule as a coach. That was my rule as a player. If you can play, you play. Like if I can help the team, you play. And I would tell folks, I often had players who were actually hurt, like injured. And they would say, Coach, I can go. I'm like, no, because I'm not choosing the game over the player. Like I'm not going to do that. If they're prepared to play, if they're healthy enough to play, you play them. I mean, you have to think that the game would be more winnable with those players on the field, wouldn't it? That would make it more winnable by definition. Kelsey says, getting beat on 5-10 passes is death by 1,000 cuts. It's one thing if you give up a few here and there. It's completely other thing to be okay with it and never change anything up. Yeah, I mean, like I said, show some man coverage, change your coverages a little bit, change your pressure, change your drops a little bit. There are a lot of things that you can do. As a corner, I would simply, in those situations, I would take away the inside seriously, and I can just give you the outer third and say, look, if you beat me on the outer third, let's go to work, right? Because that requires a perfect throw, great timing, etc. What I don't want is to give you slant room down the middle where it's easy vision, a clear open window for the quarterback to throw to, and for the defensive back to have to defend you on the other 2/3 of the field. Like it's simple math. Is it easier to cover a third of the field or a fifth of the field, actually, if you're outside the numbers, than it is for you to cover the other 4/5 of the field? So change it up, make the quarterback think about it a little bit. And then most receivers will tell you they like running option routes. They like having options to move either inside or outside. Outer third requires a lot of things to go exceptionally well. It can happen, but at least you're making this move. DP, biggest concerns of the weekend, inability to run between the tackles. I doubt Nebraska will be able to establish a consistent running attack. And fear it's on an inconsistent QB's shoulders once again. Mental errors, penalties, special teams, etc. It's been nearly 2 years since these young fellows will have played in front of a raucous crowd like they will see in Oklahoma. I see many flags coming. I get all of that. And he projects 41-23 Nebraska, and I can't even say that's like wrong. Like again, we're here to tell truths and have truths. Inability to run between the tackles. If you can get Oklahoma's defense to bunch, you're taking finesse linebackers and speed linebackers and making them play rock'em sock'em football. You're making them uncomfortable, and I'm okay with making them uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, that's my preference. We know that when Oklahoma gets into a slugfest between the tackles, they don't like it. They don't like it. Look, those prima donna pass rushers they have didn't come to OU to run stuff. They came to make sacks and get on highlights so they can go to lead. It's a different world on that man-to-man. And look, I kind of like the idea of two Huskers at the point of attack simply loading down and forcing Oklahoma to be fat neck and get work done. I don't want it to be a track meet. Nebraska can't win a track meet. If it's a wrestling match, I kind of like their chances. If it's a wrestling match.
Well, and part of me thinks also, real quickly, is that Nebraska could play a very disciplined game and still lose by 14, 15 points.
Yeah, for whatever it's gonna be, you want it to be because that Oklahoma was better. I'm okay if you walk away Sunday afternoon and Oklahoma has won the game.
It's how you lost it.
I will bang my head against the desk if Nebraska has lost the game. There's a difference. I don't want to see Nebraska helping Oklahoma beat them. I want Oklahoma to be better so that you line up and go, wow, you know what? Nebraska did everything right, and Oklahoma was just better.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all get down with that. What we don't want is for this team to go down to Norman on the 50th anniversary, right, and go lay an egg on national television again because you didn't do the basic things. Like, I know how fans think. Don't make us look bad. I'm going to wear your colors, but guess what? Line up right, get the snap right, fight hard, fight well, be smart, and play to the end. Basic stuff. So I'm asking for that. I'm asking for a perfect Nebraska. You know what? No dumb decisions with the ball, no offsides, no false starts, no grab, holding penalties, any of that stuff. Defensive pass interference because you got afraid that you were on an island and the dude was going to take it to the house, so you grabbed his jersey. Don't want any of that. Yeah. Matt says percentage chance of the streak of allowing less than 400 total yards continuing, greater than 0. I'm not. Yeah, that's asking a lot. As a matter of fact, I think Oklahoma would look over and go, I'm not sure we can hold Nebraska to under 400 yards.
Well, and
like I'm willing, like it's the same.
Yeah.
Oklahoma doesn't know if they can hold Nebraska. The only way they hold Nebraska to under 400 yards is Oklahoma decides they're going to RPO and run side of that and grind you through.
Well, and if you missed our interview with Chris Plank earlier, their top cornerback is doubtful. They're not good in the secondary. Their secondary is
nothing. Good. They're good.
Okay,
good.
It's nothing to write home about.
No, they're good. They're good. But what they're asked to do, if you allow them to sit back and play flex coverage, guess what? You aren't going to beat them. But guess what? If I do an RPO and you're afraid of having Marquis Steph turn a corner on a cornerback and a linebacker gets pinned by Vokalek, well, guess what? Then now you're putting pressure on a safety and a corner to make a decision. And you do that 2 or 3 times with some success, guess what happens? They cheat, they peek, they take 2 more steps, and Torrey runs by him and gets vert, and Adrian hits him down the sideline. Mm-hmm. But you have to be consistent in how you attack it. Look, their defensive backs they look great on film. They look great, but that's a secondary that gave up 300 passing yards to Tulane. Not exactly the offensive juggernaut. And not exactly a full list of NFL type receivers. No, they put pressure on them on the corners and made the corners make a decision. Can I stay in this route coverage, or do I need to turn my head because this quarterback's been scrambling over here to my side? That's how you attack Oklahoma's corners. Look, they face RPOs every day and still haven't figured out how to stop it. So, get to your RPO, Nebraska. That's what I would say. Get to your RPO. Look, I don't care what the yardage is. As a coach, I've never, ever looked at the yardage as the measurement. The scoreboard's the measurement. Points is the measurement. And points generally equate to, right, the amount of time you have the ball, the amount of times you don't give the ball away, and then your ability to finish drives. There's simplicity in that. So that's what I'm looking for. Mr. Limited says Nebraska's O-line will get exposed. Look, they've already been exposed. The question is, will they improve? Will they get better? Can they match up? And again, this week I'll ask you to look, stay in the middle. And if Cam Jurgens is having success, that means that the dive works. If Cam Jurgens on the zone reads can get to the next level and get to a backer, right? Then that means that Adrian is now occupying 2 linebackers and he can get to work with his feet outside that. And then if the safety has to jump up on the RPO, Adrian can take 2 steps back, beat the safety with his throw, and then we can all celebrate. There are ways for this to happen. I'm not saying that I expect Nebraska's offensive line to dominate. I can cross my fingers and certainly hope that Nebraska finds 2 wins on the offensive line that they can attack over the course of 4 quarters. That's all you want. That's all you want. Look, do you think Oklahoma feels like their front five is better than Nebraska's front three and whatever walk up they have? They think they are, but also understand Caleb Tanner and Feldarius offer different things, and depending on the rotation, you know what, the wins become less than. Now, if Oklahoma's line is getting wins 3-on-3, oh man, put your popcorn away and gone and golf. Look, if the center and two tackles are getting wins against Nebraska, or the center and the two guards are getting wins, this is not a good. That's not a good Sunday. But if Daniels is getting wins on the nose, now we're in business because you freed up two defenders and we can get to work. If those two senior safeties who have seen everything that Oklahoma is going to run, they've seen it in large numbers, in a huge capacity. Now, can they make plays? Can you make the tackle in open field? Because they're going to run slants in front of you. Does Rattler maybe stay late on it and we get one that's a little high and it's tipped, and can we make the play? Can you go the other way? And yes, it's all the things you talk about with special teams. It's literally all the things you talk about on special teams. Like it all matters. It's a shame that they have to play the perfect game, but they have to play a better than they have played game. Look, if you think you can go to Norman and win without Connor Culp being productive, no. Can they win without the punt return team giving them positive yards? No, they can't. They won't. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying, but there are ways to attack. Tulane put up 35 in a competitive game, and again had the ball after Oklahoma botched an onside kick. Tulane onside kick, and Oklahoma special teams absolutely huskered it. Like they biffed it, and Tulane got the ball, and their shoestring tackle on the quarterback and fourth and fourth at the chain, from having to explain how Tulane got them. We're not saying, Texan says they need to play beyond their potential, and I can't remember the last time they did that. So they play to their potential. Though that's a factual statement. That's a factual statement. They need to play beyond their potential, and can't remember the last time they played at their potential. Look, that's all fair. But to me, you look at Oklahoma on film, and West Carolina showed you that there were some things that they could do against Oklahoma. There were things that they could do offensively. Look, and then defensively, moving big dudes. Look, their big dudes in the heat didn't want to move either, and they had to get their defensive line rotation up. But what I can say about Oklahoma, again, with all of that depth and with all that talent, man, those dudes are well coached. Those dudes get after it. But there are some Lone Rangers. They have some dudes that will choose the moment over the mission. They have some guys that will attempt to make a play, and Nebraska fans are familiar with that kind of guy. Like, you don't have to think long about guys that would try to make an individual play where a team play would have sufficed. But Oklahoma has a couple of those guys on defense. You can win in the run game against Oklahoma. You absolutely can win. Nebraska absolutely can win in the run game against Oklahoma. They can win in the pass game. If they take Oklahoma's quick game and speed game, guess what? Oklahoma ain't going to like it. They ain't going to like it. It's like in basketball. A team that full court presses hates to be full court pressed. They hate it. Even though they're familiar with it, they hate it. It takes them out of their game. Take away Rattler's ability to just get in the shotgun, get his eyes up, and and make the 6-yard throw that some linebacker, some second-level linebacker from West Carolina couldn't exactly make the tackle, and the guy got upfield. Yards after catch will matter. Tackling matters. Peep this. Nebraska's the better tackling team of the two. Nebraska actually gets players to the ground better than Oklahoma. What Oklahoma does is that Oklahoma's speed guys want to hit you. They want to make the big play. So they'll shoot at your ankles. They'll shoot at your knees to get you down. But hey, when you talk about tackling, whew. Oklahoma leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to their wrap and take to the ground game. The big dudes up front will tackle you, but those back four, those back five in the nickel, not exactly. That's not exactly why they're there. That's not why they're there. Those are cover corners, and again, they only want to cover in space. They don't want to cover in a tight window where they have to fight and still have their eyes to a quarterback that can run or a running back that can get on the edge, and they're not built for it. Tommy Gunn says, to me, Nebraska will never be an average team until the offensive line wins the point of attack. So far, I believe in 12 quarters of play, they win 3 quarters of play. Yeah, I'm such a big fan of point of attack football. Just the numbers work. Like, that's Big Ten football. Winning the point attack and being +1 at any space that you're going to work in. And not everybody in the Big Ten has a quarterback who can give you a +2. Most teams, especially really good teams, they're not accounting for the quarterback. And mark this down. You need for Rattler to have about 6 scrambles where things broke down and he tucked it just to get away. Now, you need to contain it. You need to contain him. But you need to break down some stuff. The timing has to be altered. Get your hands on. Look, I will be counting the number of reroutes. I need to know how many times a receiver tried to get into his route and had to change his footwork to do so. I need their receivers to be uncomfortable. It's almost like you trying to get into my refrigerator with my favorite sandwich. Listen, man, I need to change your momentum. I'm not going to let you just walk in here and take my stuff. Watch Nebraska's defensive backs. Watch the linebackers. Watch linebackers getting physical against crossers. And being wisely, I'm not talking about taking their head off so you get a flag, but the reroute business is serious business Saturday. Oklahoma will run those crossing routes. They'll run a mesh concept, and they'll get across the middle. Man, get them in there. Can we talk about what a great name Spencer Rattler is for QB? I can't give him any compliments until next week. Sorry, that's the rule. That's the rule. He's not any of the last 3 Oklahoma quarterbacks. He's not. They can like him, but he's not Kyler Murray. He's not Mayfield. He's not. Now, whether you like his name or not, he will give Nebraska 2 chances to make plays Saturday. One by air and one on the ground off a sack or fumble on a hit. So will Adrian. Simple truth. Whoever makes the most of those plays wins the game. Nebraska needs it more than Oklahoma does. Oklahoma can beat Nebraska by itself. Nebraska needs Oklahoma's help. And the best way to get that help is for them to handle their own business. Don't put it on the ground. Don't flip field position. Got to have a great day in the kicking game. Got to get some positive yards in kick return. Look, I'm that kind of dude. I pay attention to who's on the field for special teams. Tells me a lot about the nature of the game. Tells me how it's going. But let's watch and focus on the middle of the field, both sides of the ball. It will tell us everything we need to know, because whoever wins there will have the opportunity to make plays more easily than the other. So we'll do that. We'll throw it to break. It's Thirsty Thursday. Kevin Myers here. Meyer Cork and Bottle. Jay Foreman will join us. We will raise a glass. We'll do that next.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. Yes, Nebraska goes into Saturday's game at Oklahoma as a massive underdog, but as linebacker Chris Kolarevic said, this is why he came to Nebraska. He wants opportunities like they're going to face on Saturday.
I mean, obviously, it's the number 3 team in the country, but I don't think we're gonna prepare any different this week than we would any other week. So
another new addition to this Husker team is running back Marquise Stepp, who said you can't get caught up in the moment.
I think, you don't get too caught up in the moment. You got to treat it like every other game. Be bigger than the moment. Don't let the moment be bigger than you. Yeah, we're playing a really good team, but we should be prepared for them like we do every week. And that's, just very intense day in and day out like we've been doing.
When you look at the recent history of this series with Nebraska and Oklahoma, the Sooners have actually won 4 of the last 5 meetings, with NU's only win coming back in 2009. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In football, Lincoln Pius was able to secure their first win of the season over Lincoln High. The Thunderbolts won the game 28-21 in double overtime. In other matchups this last week, Lincoln Northeast took care of business, beating Omaha Northwest 48-7. Lincoln Southeast won over Grant Island 17-7. Lincoln Southwest beat Omaha North 20-17. Elkhorn just got past Waverly with a final score of 14-3, and Lincoln Christian fell to Fort Calhoun 28-13. Moving to softball, on Monday, Lincoln Southwest continued their hot stretch, taking down their Class A rival Lincoln Southeast in both games, 11-3 in the first and 7-1 in the second. In Class A volleyball, Lincoln Southwest has moved up to 3 in the power rankings after beating Omaha Westside. The record now sits at 5-0. In Class B, Norris won over Elkhorn South. They currently sit with a record of 10-0. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Want to get a hot and perfect body fast? It's so easy. All you have to do is eat lots of bananas, but peels only, and always be sweating, but never look sweaty. That's disgusting.
Don't follow extreme routines. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness. Now through September 16th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get back to a real routine with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends September 16th. See Club for details.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Join the team and call the shots. Now calling for adult and youth team sports officials for Lincoln Parks and Recreation. Officials must be at least 16 years old for youth sports and 18 years old for adult sports. Officials are paid $20 a game and are expected to be physically able to run the field or court with players for an entire game of approximately 55 minutes, work well with coaches, and have the ability to accept criticism and work well under pressure. If you'd like to be a team sports official, call 402-441-7982 to learn more, or go to teamsideline.com/Lincoln Lincoln NE.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
Keep your home comfort system running efficiently with ESP from Bryant. Get total system checks twice each year and never pay overtime on service calls. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
That was a little quiet.
It's okay. We got no. Oh, it's not gonna.
Screw Cap.
Tame down.
It was anticlimactic, shall we say.
It's okay. I always find myself here for this segment. I don't know why.
It's weird.
As you should be.
like
as you should be.
Yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason to it, but I stumble in. I get an invite every time, which is
yes, yes.
But here we are. Kevin Myers here. Good afternoon, Kevin.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
Excellent,
sir.
I'm ready to roll.
I'm pouring beers,
yeah,
and talking.
Pouring
at the
beers
same
and
time,
talking. It's
trying to keep from spilling.
It's a challenge.
I'm a multitasker.
There'll be no spillage.
No
spillage.
Not up in here.
Got it.
Excellent. Okay, it looks like a beer first type of day.
I think we're going beer first. So every Thirsty Thursday, I try to be topical as much as possible.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a bit of a stretch. Other times, it's pretty kind of slides right in the groove. But
what kind of day do we have here?
We have Sunslinger from our good friends at Empyrean Brewing, and I brought it because I wouldn't mind seeing old Adrian Martinez slinging around the yard a little bit.
Oh, I like it. And he is our son.
And have his day in the sun, maybe. Although I would really like to just see us pound on him, lean on him, But it's going to be an interesting game. I'm in that show me phase. Like, let's play a clean game, and if we play a clean game and we lose, I'm okay with that. I just am tired, like everybody else, of the sloppy penalties, the silly turnovers, and just undisciplined football. So I would
clean
just
game.
Like to see that. And mano. Let's take a swing, see if we can land one on the chin, and see what happens.
Do you have you had any Oklahoma emotions drudged up this week from when you would watch it as a kid?
Not really. Although I remember one time getting in trouble because we actually beat the Sooners, and I was so happy I went and teepeed our backyard. My own backyard, and my mom was like,
and what age is this?
Maybe 10. And my mom was like, you realize you got to go clean that up, right?
I'm so excited. I'm going to throw teepee all over our house.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was just, and I watched the game by myself. And growing up, we had season tickets, and I remember, if I didn't have a buddy to go with, I'd grab my little thermos with some hot chocolate or some chicken noodle soup and hop on the bus.
Sure.
9-year-old kid and go watch the game by myself. We had our tickets were first row of the east balcony, about the 40-yard line, primo seats.
Excellent.
And so I've been a fan since I can remember.
Yeah. And that's this. I've really liked getting all the stories this week from just people who, because Schaefer and I talked about it and got some bad feedback on it. But I mean, Jake, I think you probably say the same thing. Jake's here, by the way. Say hello, Jake.
Hi, guys.
So we're around the same age. We don't feel that connection to. I'm 29. Jake's 30. And when
I was,
I don't remember Nebraska, Oklahoma.
I was 9 in 71.
So there you go.
So, and I remember
that's peak age.
This was a part of my soul. This day, Thanksgiving Day, 1971, was a part of my soul. This is my sports birth.
So for frame of reference, okay. I was 9 in 2001, And
I
this
was
is
10.
This is my first. That's like my first sports memory when Mike Stuntz threw it to Eric Crouch. It was like, okay, the lights clicking. I really like Nebraska football. But that was I didn't know anything about the Oklahoma rivalry.
So I was born in 71.
Okay.
So I turned 50 this year, and I was actually at the Go for Two Orange Bowl against Miami in Miami. Was at that game with my grandmother, who just passed away, by the way. She's 98 years old, but it was her big thing to take each of her grandkids on a cool trip for, just
that's pretty
she
cool.
was retired. So we went to Disney World and SeaWorld and Epcot and then went to the Orange Bowl and I was there, and I've
not a bad little trip.
No, not a bad little trip at all. And I remember the Miami fans being really, really bad, really nasty. I mean, it was kind of chilly. It was kind of rainy. I think it was like 50s and rainy. And I had my winter coat on, and my winter coat was just soaked in beer from getting. I think I was in 7th grade. So what's that make you, like 11 or 12?
Yeah.
Right around in there. 12-year-old kid with his grandmother, no less, just soaked in beer.
All I wanted to do was go to Disney World.
Yeah, and they were trash talking to my grandmother. It was bad.
But this game changed. Oh, so back then everybody wasn't on TV, so you didn't get to see every game.
Right.
But in Virginia and in DC, there were a couple of things that were usual. So we usually got a top 5 game, and then we got the Notre Dame highlights on Sunday morning. So we got Notre Dame, Grambling, and then we got top 5. Going into this day, I was an OU fan simply because I fashioned myself to be a running back. I knew at age 9 I was already playing Little League, and Oklahoma ran the wishbone, which is what my Little League team did.
Was Pruitt?
Greg Pruitt.
Greg
Do It Pruitt. Like,
yeah.
It was the first cool nickname in all sports. It's like, Do It Pruitt. I'm like, okay. But Johnny Rodgers that day stole my heart.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, because I didn't think of Nebraska as being exciting.
Right.
I thought as a 9-year-old kid in DC, you want exciting. Billy Sims and Pruitt and those guys ran the ball with some excitement. But Johnny Rodgers was the first Nebraska guy that had style.
He was prime time before prime time.
It was style. And then to hear the hype and then have a dude just say, everything you heard about me, it's true. Watch this. And I was hooked. I was hooked after that.
Yeah, I go back and watch it. We're gonna get to the beer in a second, but then if you go back, it's on YouTube. The whole game, the 71 game. The greatest thing, just watch the first 15 minutes of it. They start with the player, they bring out the player, and he stands in front of the camera, and he goes like this, and they announce all their names, and then they run off the camera, and then you don't see him again.
We need to get back to that.
So then they take a commercial, and the first commercial is cigarettes.
Yes.
And it's just like, this is awesome. This is so cool.
Yes.
They should make the first commercial be for cigarettes on Saturday.
Marlboro, baby. Let's go.
I don't think they can advertise cigarettes.
I don't think so
on TV.
either.
Well, no, but they did that. They used to do that, and they always talk about from the hometown. He's from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yep.
And you're like, how do you really?
It's
what?
amazing.
What? Bad haircuts and everything. It was amazing.
It immediately transport you back. But all right. Anyway, good stories. Beer.
All I can think of is Jack Marius Tactheratrix.
Yeah.
Those guys are the best.
Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So Sunslinger from our good friends here at Empyrean Brewing right here in good old Lincoln, Nebraska. This is what they call an XPA or an extra pale ale.
Oh.
A little bit of dry hop, but it's fresh. It's clean. It's not super bitter. I think the name kind of sums it up. Like it's sort of a sunny, sling it around the yard type of beer. And I'm enjoying it and hoping that our good friend Adrian Martinez can sling it around the yard here on Saturday.
The first thing you notice is like you just instinctively smell it because that's what you do. It really
has that lemony
fresh.
aroma.
I was going to say sunny and citrusy are the dance, but cool.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, and definitely drier if that's your. But I like a little bite. We've talked about this a lot before, but there's a lot of sweet stuff out there now, and this kind of goes in the opposite of that, I think.
Well, and there's just a boatload of IPAs out there, and so there's sort of a lot of one-upsmanship. So who can make the higher ABV, the juicier, the goofier IPA or whatever else? And to me, this is sort of a scale back. Let's get back to the basics
Keep
of
it
beer.
simple.
And where's this from?
This is brewed right here in Lincoln from Empyrean Brewing downtown.
Okay, so if beer was a state, this is California.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Fresh,
light, sunny,
not too hot.
Blonde surfboard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not too overbearing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It just hits you right in the right place.
That's your friend, right
Yeah,
there.
bruh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
bruh.
would
That's your
accept that
friend.
label. I think.
Yeah, that's your
They'd
friend.
accept that label.
Jake, what do you think?
I thought it was good. You know, I'm not a huge IPA guy. You know that, but
So this is a-
I know
this is a
XP,
pale ale.
I know. It was fine. It was good. I would drink that. I drank the whole thing. I would drink a can of that, a bottle of that, whatever.
Would that go well with
425
chicken
ounces?
fingers?
Hey, listen, I am way past that part of my life.
You
He
are.
eats shrimp now. Okay.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm a big shrimp guy. I am a shrimp connoisseur now. I love shrimp.
I love that about you, Jake. You're growing up right in front of our
I know.
eyes.
You've seen me grow so much the last
That's right.
few years.
You were just a snot-nosed kid when I
That's
first
right.
started doing this.
That's great stuff.
That's very true.
We don't see much of the Empyrean stuff outside of the normal kind of everyday stuff that you see on the
So
shelf. So
Third Stone, and this is a seasonal of theirs, and I think definitely worth checking out.
yeah, I'm in.
So next up, we have a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. It's called Clifford Bay, and it's from the Marlborough region, which basically New Zealand is two islands. They're stacked on top of each other, and Marlborough is the north tip of the South Island. And what's interesting about the Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand, from any other part of the world, is that they possess a high concentration of a chemical compound called pyrazine, and that pyrazine is the same compound found in grapefruits. So if you DP's over here shaking his
good
head,
smell
he
right
picked
there.
it up right away.
Oh boy.
This is the best part about the segment. So Kevin, as we're like sniffing it and taking our first sips, Kevin is describing it, and you're like checking all the boxes.
Yeah,
You're like, yep. I got that. That's the beauty of it. If only there could be a Kevin for each time you drink a wine. Just like a guy in your ear being like, this is what's
He's
happening.
just talking
I
to
could
you.
make an app. It's
Yes!
here, click me, and I'll just walk you through it.
Well, you should do that. You should have for whatever you offer. It's you giving your 30-second elevator pitch for all your beverages.
That's not
That would
much
take
work,
some
Kevin.
time.
It'll
Yeah, it
take
sounds
you-
like a
it'll take you a
But that
couple
would
of
be
days,
fun.
weeks, months,
No,
years.
that would be awesome.
Maybe back when I wore a younger man's apron. I don't want to work that hard anymore.
There you
DP.
go. I got you.
Just make Joe do it.
I
man.
got you, man. I got you.
Another crisp, clean. You know, if that's
This
what
is-
we're going.
this is
for.
Again,
good. This is tasty.
summertime in a glass. I mean, it's hotter weather again. It's going to cool off a little bit tomorrow. The other thing that we need to honk is our fall wine sale, which
Oh, yeah.
started today. And
Yeah.
this happens to be one of the wines out of 150 that are all on deep discount at our biggest sale of the year. And it's called Clifford Bay New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, crisp, clean, grapefruity, $12. And if you like that, I've got 150 other wines.
It
to
fooled
show.
me. It fooled me. It does not taste like it smells.
You think it's going to be sweeter than it is?
That's
Yes.
true. Good call.
Yes. And it fooled me. It absolutely fooled me. And this is dangerous because this is the kind of thing that people get creative with like fruit.
Yes.
This would be the nice blend where you throw strawberries in and let it kind of marinate for a little bit and have your own
Like a
party.
brunch wine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
almost kind of like a modified mimosa type thing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the-
you could play around with
That's the lane.
a white wine cocktail type thing.
I like it when you look at it, you can look at the bottle of it and you can kind of show the camera there. You can kind of tell what it's going to taste like by the way you got the waves on there, and there's like a bluish greenish kind of hue to the wine bottle, and then it says Clifford Bay, and you're like, okay, I kind of know what this is going to be like, and it nailed that. I think.
Like
I think so.
surfers love it just from the bottle.
Yeah, right.
Like they're just going to sit around.
Very
and
chill,
go, bruh,
very approachable.
bruh.
Well, and a great food to have with this would be like, if you did shrimp.
Oh, Jake Shrimp.
Drake shrimp guy.
I'm listening
So
very attentively on this one.
so you take some raw deveined shrimp, leave the tail on there.
Okay.
You toss it in some olive oil, maybe a little like paprika, some salt and pepper, maybe a little cumin. Just toss that around because that'll give it a little bit of heat. Grill it just till it's nice and pink. Don't even really need a sauce or anything like that because your marinade will be the sauce. Wine like this, pull that off the grill. That little bit of spice and that little bit of smoke will balance out with the citrus, just like, squeezing a lemon over that, or you could even squeeze a lemon over that after you're done. and then drop this with it, and boom, I think you're good to go.
The man wants me to salivate on the radio right now.
go.
I was just about there.
You got to get the shrimp. The great thing about shrimp is you could do a lot of different things with shrimp, as Bubba said.
You can. That's right.
As Bubba told
Tons
us.
of things. Shrimp gumbo.
Yeah, there's a lot of different. It's just very versatile.
But you could saute it, Pat. But to me, the direct flame on the grill and a little bit of the smoke on there adds a little bit of color too. That's the way to fly.
You've gone fully Crocodile Dundee. Like you fully dove in here. I expected this bottle to be at his bar.
Crocodile Dundee's bar.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Crikey.
Oh wait, that was the
Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin. What does Crocodile Dundee do?
Oh, you don't know Croc Dundee?
I've heard of him. What does he do?
He's got a shtick. What's his
deal?
Oh, that's not a knife.
Oh, a
No,
knife. A
that's
knife.
a knife.
Yes, a knife.
Yeah.
This is a knife.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that guy.
He's a Sheila.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that. I like that.
Invite a couple of Sheilas over to the
Yeah.
boudoir.
Shrimp on the barbie.
Shrimp on the barbie.
Shrimp
with a little
on the
Clifford
barbie.
Bay.
Shrimp on the
Sauvignon
barbie.
Blanc.
That's it, man.
Yeah. And after that, you can throw the old pigskin around and be a sunslinger.
That's exactly right. Yeah, then it all comes full circle today.
There we go.
So fall wine sale. It's very busy for you guys around the shop right now, but it's the perfect time to get in there.
Yes, indeed. So we're locked and loaded, fully stocked, 150 wines on sale. We're doing something a little different this year too. If you spend $100, you get your name thrown in a drawing for a chance to win a $250 gift card.
Okay.
So,
hello. Did somebody say free booze?
Did somebody say free booze?
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe they did.
Okay, it's very
So
interesting.
spend a little to get a lot.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm lining up now. We're 3 months from 12 days of wine miss.
Yes, sir.
I'm expecting quite the performance. You've set a very high standard.
We're gonna raise the bar even more.
Boy, DP.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking
Becky's gonna know exactly how many ceiling tiles you have.
Nice.
Kevin, always appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thank you.
That's Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Check them out at 13th and South. More up next here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation. It offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
When everything is changing, you need a store that's a constant. A store that has the brands your family loves and the value that you need. A store where you can stock up, pick up, and drive up. A store that's close to home and feels like home. A store that puts the health and safety of you and your family above all else. And a store that's always here to help. At Kohl's, we don't know what next year will look like. We just know that we'll be here for you no matter what. Kohl's, here today, here to stay. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
A very summer-like day on the way. We'll see hot, windy conditions. South winds could gust over 25. We'll reach up to a high of 90 this afternoon. Heading into tonight, a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms late, a low down to 67. Continued chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, much cooler, with a high of 74. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Wakey, wakey, new breakfast at Casey's.
Wakey, wakey, new breakfast at Casey's. Do-do-do-do-do.
Wakey, wakey, breakfast, Casey's.
Casey's new breakfast, featuring delicious handmade sandwiches like this signature handheld made with our fresh made from scratch dough. Buy any hot breakfast item and get a coffee for just $1. Casey's, here for good.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. Yes, Nebraska goes into Saturday's game at Oklahoma as a massive underdog. But as linebacker Chris Kolarevic said, this is why he came to Nebraska. He wants opportunities like they're going to face on Saturday.
I mean, obviously, it's the number 3 team in the country, but I don't think we're gonna prepare any different this week than we would any other week. So
another new addition to this Husker team is running back Marquise Stepp, who said you can't get caught up in the moment.
I think, you don't get too caught up in the moment. You got to treat it like every other game. Be bigger than the moment. Don't let the moment be bigger than you. Yeah, we're playing a really good team, but we prepare for them like we do every week. And that's, just very intense day in and day out like we've been doing.
When you look at the recent history of this series with Nebraska and Oklahoma, the Sooners have actually won 4 of the last 5 meetings, with NU's only win coming back in 2009. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Deck City is Lincoln's DIY deck headquarters. With real deck professionals, they can help you throughout the entire process. They also offer financing for qualified customers. Deck City offers the best quality materials so you have a deck built to last. There's everything from Yellowwood lumber to the best quality TimberTech composites on the market, and high-quality aluminum railings by Westbury or Diamond Piers for easy footing install. For those looking to bring your wood deck back to life, they offer good-proof, ready seal stain. Deck City, your deck material headquarters, is now open Saturdays from 9 to 1, 2 blocks north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I thank Kevin Meyer from Meyer Cork and Bottle for coming in and giving us his usual Thursday goodies. And he went 2 for 2 with that group. I didn't think I would like the Aussie wine, the New Zealand wine, but I did.
It always smells very good in here on Thursdays.
It's citrusy.
Yeah.
But grapefruit, that chemical has its own unique smell, which is why people don't normally cook with it. Cook with it because it just comes off that way. But yeah, that was actually way better than I thought it would. So, much better. Well done across the board. Okay, so Jay Foreman will be here at 5:15. Barry Thompson will join us at the top of the hour, right at 5 o'clock. We'll talk a little, and he remembers Nebraska, Oklahoma. I mean, Barry's a year older than I am, so he can go back into the history of this thing with us, and we'll talk about some of the accountabilities for quarterbacks and what we can expect from them. Both quarterbacks on this day. He's a great evaluator. He'll tell us about Rattler. He'll tell us about Adrian Martinez, and we'll get through it. From the text line, hey DP, I hope it's a win. I believe it will not be a blowout, but on top of at least getting it close, I would love it if Luke and Garrett had huge days, hometown boys, that walked on, kept with it, and got them scholarships and black shirts. Yeah, this is always like a tentative, a slippery slope to get on, because this is a recruiting town. Husker fans pay more attention to recruiting than most college towns. They really do. And y'all know when you talk to recruiting, I get a little sideways with it. But Nebraska is also a walk-on town. It's a part of what they do because they believe in the heart and character and loving something enough that you're willing to do it for free and getting it and then getting your scholarship and all that. But this is kind of the nature of Nebraska and Oklahoma, isn't it? That even when Nebraska was really good, right? There was still talent in Oklahoma. Like, we can fairly say that Oklahoma is more talented now. That's not a reach. Number of stars within the program, number of recent draftees at a very high level. 3 quarterbacks that were all drafted early on in round 1. As a matter of fact, they were all number 1 picks, right?
Baker was, Kyler was. Where was Jalen drafted? He was pretty low.
Right. But I mean, so you think 3 quarterbacks that are being produced in a system that works. Lincoln Riley has made a point. He's kind of gone the Fred Hoiberg path of, listen, I'm going to get you ready for the league. If you come here, I'll get you ready for the league. And you'll play with NFL caliber talent at practice. You'll have to get better each day. Where Nebraska has the day by day, we get better and better. At some point, Nebraska is going to have to look itself in the mirror and ask that question. Do we want to be the walk-on school? Is that where you want to get your talent pool from? Is that your athletic standard? There's nothing wrong with it if it works, right? There's been a ton of guys. I know the history and story guys. There's a bunch of dudes that walked on, and that was a big part of it. But when you look at Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, are they shopping from the same place that Nebraska shops? Are they getting their groceries at the same place? From the text, Nebraska in the Big Ten has more stars than most of their opponents, excluding Ohio State and a couple others. Well, it's that part. It's not just Ohio State. They don't get the stars that Michigan does. They don't. Say they're not getting the talent Wisconsin does. They're not. But there's also the part of developing. Whatever you get, you've got to develop it. And that hasn't been the case. That's a statement of truth. You can be mad at it, but it's a statement of truth. So Saturday, what you will see is a program that is overflowing with riches. They've got talent at every position and depth. And they also have a pattern and recent history of developing said talent into the higher level. That's what you're looking at on Saturday. For me, you still have to find a way to win. Like you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the fan base. You got to find a way to win. There's too much vested. There's too much emotional investment. There's too much financial investment. It's a big part of all this stuff. But man, my goodness. Says DP, I'm sorry you're way off base. Nebraska's recruiting class was always ranked higher than Wisconsin, Ohio. Ranked higher doesn't mean anything. What I'm talking about is what they're doing with it. What you're doing with it. It's the development part. That's why I said talent is one thing, but development is a whole other, and they're both required. Those programs are producing NFL dudes in a high abundance at a high level, right? Like you're not comparing Nebraska's recent NFL development on the same level as Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. You're not. You can't. So there's that. Webb Blanket says walk-ons have historically been guys, but haven't been the guy. I don't think that there's a name of a single wall on the South Stadium. I don't think there's you don't think there's a name of walk on the South Stadium wall. I understand that they're a prominent part of the program's history. Prominent, important, vital. But everybody else is shopping with different groceries and a different recipe. And then in the end, you can have all the great steak you want. How you prepare it matters. It matters. Toward the break, come back top of the hour. Coach Barry Thompson, Fairfax Football Academy. He'll do his thing on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Building a house today is completely different than it was a year ago. It's great. It's a great time to build a house.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
Interest rates are fantastic. Our lot selection is fantastic. Being a large volume builder like we are, we tend to get very good discounts from our suppliers, which has been very helpful. So if you want to build right now, it's a great time to call, make an appointment, set a budget, sign a contract. You're locked in. I'm locked in. Let's figure out your location. Let's get that lot reserved. It allows you then to have some freedom and room to sell your home for a great profit. In the end, it's going to be a win-win for you.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Welcome to today's episode of The Great Unknowns. Last time we talked about why chickens can't just cross the road in peace. Today's topic is the great unknowns of the future. Like, am I ready for what life throws at me? Well, that answer is easy. Just call a local State Farm agent. State Farm agents will help you plan for the what ifs in life so you know what to expect if the unexpected happens. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Smoothbrook, Illinois.
When everything is changing, you need a store that's a constant. A store that has the brands your family loves and the value that you need. A store where you can stock up, pick up, and drive up. A store that's close to home and feels like home. A store that puts the health and safety of you and your family above all else. And a store that's always here to help. At Kohl's, we don't know what next year will look like. We just know that we'll be here for you no matter what. Kohl's, here today, here to stay. See store or kohls.com for details.
Hey guys, looking for that extra confidence when it's time to have fun? Let me tell you about BlueChew.com. BlueChew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. BlueChew tablets help men combat all forms of ED. BlueChew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. And here's a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code TICKET at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TICKET, to receive your first month free.
Toys and sports collectibles, 6200 Havelock Avenue.
Hi, I'm Kevin with Sports Fantastic.
And I'm Daryl at Stop and Shop Funko Pop.
We have two of the best collectible stores in the coolest place in Lincoln, in historic Havelock by Misty's. Sports Fantastic has tons of sports memorabilia for Huskers and other hard-to-find teams.
And Stop and Shop Funko Pop has all your Funko and anime needs. It's your one-stop shop on one block at 6200 Havelock.
6200 Havelock Avenue.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Feel free, dance amongst yourselves. No pressure, Nick. Zero pressure.
It went away. Somebody
Swing
deleted
and
it.
a miss. Swing and a miss.
We're gonna find it. Let's try this one. That's not it. Hold on.
Barry Thompson, we're calling an audible. So check.
Just give me a second. I'm searching here. No items match my shirt.
Oh,
Okay.
that's hilarious. Okay, we'll go on.
Autumn Wind is a Raider.
That's fantastic.
That's all I know of it.
Let's bring him in. QB coach Barry Thompson. B, what's happening, man?
Oh, man, if I was doing any better, they'd have to lock me up.
Have to lock. We can't have none of that. Have your feet touched the ground since Monday night?
Yeah, I mean, I got to get ready for the Steelers on Steelers Sunday, but that was great. They used to call it the Raider Mystique, and that used to happen. They used to have the sea of hands finish, and they had it. So it really took me back, just like the OU Nebraska games take me back. But yeah, that was when Al Davis was around. You could always count on the Raiders somehow, some way at the end to do something, and it was really. As a very long-time Raider fan, I was very excited to see that finish and the play calling at the end. Completely surprised at what they did. Yeah, I was very happy. My feet have not. Wait, I have my answer, and I'm walking on air. So yes, I was very happy.
Coach, it's you're older than I. I know. I will never fail to not remind you of that. But we're both old enough to remember the beginning of what led to the greatest game ever played, the game of the century. That was a national thing. Oklahoma and Nebraska was as much a part of our Thanksgiving as the turkey itself. Like, that was a big part of the day. Was the fact that you knew you were going to get it. On that day, it had all the hype. It had all of our attention. Remember, back in the day where there were only 3 channels,
right?
Everybody was tuned in to the Huskers and the Sooners. What's your recall to that?
Oh my gosh, I can't tell some of the stories, but yes, it was a thing, and it might be kind of somebody in Lincoln to understand how we're sitting in Northern Virginia. And we're latching on to it. At that time, there's only a handful of these games that were kind of like that, that were these regional things that expanded nationally. Anytime Notre Dame played, that was, expand nationally. I didn't really understand it, but I knew it was there. The Army-Navy thing was something that had some past to it. I remember my dad dragged me to the game. I didn't understand the significance of it. You had Texas, Oklahoma, you had USC to Notre Dame, or USC and UCLA. But man, that Oklahoma-Nebraska game, I was actually looking forward to it, and it was something. And then my ties, in terms of how the world is small, my ties to Nebraska go back to the early 70s. I'm a competitive roller skater, so I'm there, O Street, the Cornhusker Hotel, and what stays with you when that's like that seed that gets planted in you. First of all, Nebraska, and I'm sure it's still intact, has a reputation of being one of the politest places in the world. Yes. I remember people from all parts of the country coming to compete, and everybody had the same thing. The people here are so nice. And they used to have a courtesy, by the way, a courtesy thing with parking tickets. If you were out of town, they would just give you like a little courtesy thing. And that was a big shock to everybody. And then when you're there, never been immersed in like a football kind of culture, all you see is Go Big Red.
Yeah.
You don't know who these people are. You don't know who Johnny Rodgers is, but it's Go Big Red, Go Big Red, Go Big Red. And so you tie all those good feelings together, and you leave to go back to the East Coast, and you're like, Nebraska's playing Oklahoma? All right, let's see how that gets down. And, of course, Oklahoma had its personality with, all the running backs and Barry Switzer and this and that. But for me, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, go Nebraska, go Nebraska, go Nebraska. And the game that I texted you about, I was just reading about Billy Sims, and they were doing a thing on him, and they went back to the OU game where they fumbled, I think, 9 times that day.
Mm-hmm.
And the 9th fumble was Billy Sims as he was about to go in the end zone. Nebraska recovers in 78, and they win that game. So I never missed any of those games up until probably my second or third year in college. So it went from time I was little to that was just a thing. And you're right. It was that OU Nebraska game was on, and I would sneak out of whatever I was supposed to do, and I'd watch that game.
And also, you've got family ties with Nebraska.
Well, yeah. I mean, because of that seeding that took place. Remember, Darius is 4 years younger than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's tagging along, and so it infected him probably to a greater degree than I did. So when it came time to him choosing schools, Nebraska is where he wanted to go, and that's where he started. He finished up at Plymouth State, New Hampshire, but that's where he wanted to go, and that's where he went for, I think, about 2 years.
Yeah, it's just, and whenever we start talking Nebraska, I mean, Darius lights up like a tree. It's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
that's my old spot, and he hung out with the football team, so he knew a lot of the stories and had he knows where a lot of the bodies are buried. So you always get some, you always get some insight when you're talking about that. And we're old enough that we played high school football during the peak of the wishbone, like
yes.
And the option. So we had a little bit of both. And when I first met you, I had an easy comp to you because there were Nebraska and Oklahoma quarterbacks that did what you did. And so I knew what my responsibility was. And the funny thing was, I was telling folks earlier, even at age 9, I knew running backs that ran the way I thought I could, but it was Johnny Rodgers that introduced flanker to my world.
Right.
Where he does both. And then when we got to high school, our coach said, Derek, we need you to kind of do both. And if it hadn't been for Johnny Rodgers, I'd probably fight this thing. Like, no, this doesn't make sense. But he was like, no, you can run and you can catch. Let's figure out a way. You as a quarterback mastered all of the responsibilities of running option and wishbone. What was that? Walk us through it, because it wasn't an easy way to play.
Well, it was funny that you mentioned that. So that goes back to middle school, because when we had middle school football, that is what we ran. And so I'm going to say something blasphemous now. So now you have guys like me and Elite 11 and a lot of stuff where you can go and get sources of information and get somebody to say, hey, this is how you do this. But back then, there was no internet. So I'm going to say something blasphemous. In order, my seeding and learning how to play, I had to go grab a book by Bud Wilkins.
Right.
Okay. So
right.
I know who Bud is, right? And I had to go, and there was a book that he had, and he had literally diagrammed these steps and the angles, and he was a very detailed coach. And so I had to start to model what I was doing for the wishbone out of that. Now, the throwing part, if you remember, as we're getting into high school, at the high school level, the bone and all running is becoming kind of tough. So that was what was in fashion was to be multiple, right? You still had this bone thing, but then you're putting people like yourself out there and things like that. And so then I had to teach myself the throwing part as well. And so if you ask me how it came about, it's because I went to the library. Part of it was learning from Bud Wilkinson. And then the other part, I don't know how I cobbled together the throwing stuff. And then it just all comes together. And then, and that's what it was. And the other unique thing, talking about that period of time, was through Swanson and then through Washington. I called my own play. So that was also kind of unique at the time, and still unique now. But anyway, but yeah, that's how it got cobbled together. And then remember, we had Eric Stevers around, and
Yeah.
throwing to those guys and so forth. So anyway, back to the whole story. But yeah, that's how it got cobbled together. Heavy influence, those guys, that Oklahoma, Nebraska thing on two East Coast guys.
And we were blessed. We were in that transitional phase where even in DC, we had a couple of guys that would hang out and come out. I mean, people think Nebraska fans remember Ohio State back in the day. They had a guy from DC, Cornelius Green. Right, who
Yes,
could
sir.
run and throw it. And then right about the same time, Conridge Holloway, quarterbacks who could run and throw. And then, of course, Oklahoma with, Julius Caesar Watts and that crew. That was all a part. Like, I understood what my responsibilities were from watching Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and then, like I said, I learned from in the library.
Yeah, yeah.
Bud Wilkinson, so.
Yeah, there you go. You're spending time in the library reading up on Bud Wilkinson. That's fantastic. Talking to Barry Thompson, quarterbacks coach. You mentioned Elite 11 and your work with them. I always get back to the curiosity of how every school isn't tagged into, connected to, resembling and reinforcing Elite 11 quarterback skill sets. Like, right? Like, I mean, like that's the master's program, and there's certain programs that aren't locked into this thing. What happens? What's required for Nebraska to get into the Elite 11 pool?
Well, I mean, they're there. They put them right in front of you. All you have to do is follow the tour around and figure out who you want. But understand something about that. They in any one year, and I don't know the current stats, and I haven't been on the circuit in a while, but they at any one time can say something like, 30, and I'm just making this up for this year, 30 of the 32 starters in the NFL are Elite 11 alumni, meaning that at least in one of the regional things, they were selected and invited and they attended. It doesn't mean that they necessarily passed up to the upper levels of semifinals and so forth. So they can claim, and they may say 32 out of 32 have Elite 11 alumni. So these guys that are seeking out this kind of competition it's a target-rich environment for somebody who's going to ascend. So you may not know out of the 50 and the Texas regional who's going to be there, but the chances that somebody's in there, they're there. So if you're looking for a quarterback, that might be a good way to start. The other thing that you mentioned, why wouldn't somebody teach that way? There's a book called Modern QB. It's by Bruce Feldman. And it started, I think, really with Trent's vision of having all these quarterback coaches come together in one spot. And I was lucky enough to be invited. I was in that meeting that's described in the opening chapter. And it was just an effort to get all of these guys together, expose everybody to this is how we think quarterbacks should be developed. And of course, Trent over time has expanded that, and they've included different things. They've included younger groups. But there is a concentrated effort to, at younger ages, say, these are the things that you need to be a good quarterback. Now, why don't other high school programs adopt that? I think at the high school level is you know that the rules are increasingly made to keep players and coaches apart, right? So they're not, by rule, they're not allowed to do certain things with players, football-wise, off-season. Then they have red days and green days and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's where somebody like myself comes in. And it's not that I'm really a genius. It's just that I have a little bit of knowledge, and I have two things that high school coaches don't have. I have time and I have repetition. And you give any coach that's halfway decent a player, you give them time, you give them repetitions, you're going to make a player better. The player's going to get better if he's in there. So I think there's a combination, DP. You're reaching out, looking at those things, and then two, is there a way locally to kind of foster that kind of development? You'd be surprised. I have one local high school here, and it's through the rumor mill, but this quarterback, the head coach said to his quarterbacks that if they ever found out that if they came to me, he would never play them.
Wow.
So there's some of that exists too. It doesn't matter to that guy that I've got 4 of the 5 top guys in the toughest region playing. It doesn't matter that, my guys are playing college. It doesn't matter that my guys have won state championships. He just said he found if any of his quarterbacks come to me, he wouldn't play them. So there's that out there too.
Yeah, and it's fascinating to me because, like, I know that there are guys that you've trained who would have taken your opinion and advice as golden because you helped them get to where they were, who have been in the room with Scott Frost, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And the deal didn't get done. I'm always fascinated what happens when a high-level quarterback gets in the room with a coach and whether that coach can close the deal.
Yeah, it's interesting. The highest level guy that I had was Lyndall Stone. He was a 30 offer kid. It doesn't mean that he was the most talented. He was extremely talented, but for instance, I'll mention another blasphemy. Noah Kim's at Michigan State, and Noah didn't have the volume of offers that Lyndall had. So, but Lyndall, I wasn't really involved in his recruiting process. It was very much a family thing, and it was interesting. Wisconsin came down and talked to him. And I know the schools that came down to Woodbury to talk to him, and Wisconsin was the only one that wears red and white to talk to him.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, Notre Dame was in the mix at one point, and those schools do dip in this area to pull people out. I think Brendan Clark's at Notre Dame. He's a Virginia kid, a guy that I didn't develop him, but a kid I've had a chance to work with a few times early in his career. They're here, and I don't know. But I do know that my guys are finding homes and they're finding success. But it's been interesting about who latches onto them and who doesn't.
We're talking to Barry Thompson, quarterback coach, and I think a lot of this, when you look at guys like Adrian Martinez who have talent, and then the development part of it. For you, when you get a talent, what's the first thing or the important thing in their development? There has to be a key and a thing that you follow.
Right. So when I get a quarterback, the very first thing I do is I got to teach him how to throw the ball. You would be surprised at how much time I spend teaching people who play the position how to throw the football. And I mean how to throw the football in a consistent manner from point A to point B. So that's it. Now we're talking the development side, but I start there. And sometimes the technical part of that, I've had kids they'll smile, but I never see them again. And that's fine. That's okay.
Right.
But my guys that kind of bite on that and understand the importance of it, that's the basis of everything. Because I'm thinking like a coach. Even though I'm training, I'm thinking like a high school coach in the end. If I go back and call a play, among the many things that I need to do, I need you to get the ball from point A to point B. It can't be a guess. So we start there, and then what we're doing from a development standpoint is I'm trying to, as a coach, to load his tool belt up with the variables that he's going to face as a quarterback, how he has to move his feet, when he has to move. You talk about pocket presence. We have a little simple drill that we call office space where they learn, keeping their eyes up, of where the pressure is coming from, which way they need to slide and move in the pocket. Then that, when they're not going to get hit. Then we go to the moves that when they feel that a free runner coming down, what type of moves do we have to do and where my completion is going to be. And then we take the accuracy, and it's okay, there's times when you're going to have to throw over defender and the ball needs to go up and down. Or this is time, now I need you pinpoint at this location with the ball, and this is how it needs to be thrown. So we're working all those things, both from under, from gun, right? We're working, moving in the pocket, doing the play action fakes. The idea is that, when he leaves me, no matter what his coach is asking him to do, my guy can do it, right? Because I don't want him, hey, he asked me to get on the center, and he says my footwork is bad. I'm like, not if you're with me, you're not.
We just had that discussion yesterday.
Yeah.
That there are programs in the country, high-level programs, that don't know how. The guy said he had an all-star game with the best talent in the country, and they didn't know how to get under center and get their footwork right. And I just went, oh, my goodness gracious.
Well, let me tell you, my guys, we start under center and we stay under center. And the reason for it is twofold. It's harder. It is harder. And if you can master the depth and the balance and the different types of drops from under center, then when I put you in the gun, it's a lot easier. So even though almost all my guys play in the gun, when you're with me, if you came like a session in January through May probably. All you would see is they were doing stuff under center. And then around May, they start begging, Coach, can I do this in the gun? And maybe around the end of May, I'll say, well, go ahead, and then we work on that too. But I just believe that under center work, it just means so much, because a lot of times they don't even have an understanding of what's going on in the line, believe it or not, right? And so this idea that you've got to get away from center, or just this idea that you're passing through a passing lane instead of over top of somebody, and how to adjust to that, and the depth of drops, and how explosive you need to be with your first step. These little tiny things that are really important to play in the position. A lot of them don't even know how to drop. You get me in the weeds. Let me finish this off. But I'll have kids that are right-handed, and what they do is this technical thing. If they want to throw to their left, they'll completely close their left side off instead of leaving the shoulder slightly ajar, so they have vision to 45 degrees to both sides of the field. Like, we have to work on that, because they don't understand, hey, I need to see over there. I need to see that linebacker. I need to see the end. So anyway, you got me going, DP.
No, that's the whole purpose. That's why we have the conversation, because it's the kind of stuff we talk about. And I just think I get frustrated because I know what people are being told is not true. And I just I get going, I'm like, wait a minute. I know that this can be done. You can fix this if you want to fix it. And there's a whole lot of, so it's a big game. What do we eat?
Well, I was listening to Mr. Myers, and you say I do things to make you hungry. I'm sitting there, you're making me thirsty. and I really like the tip that he was on with shrimp and so forth. So one of my dishes I like is a Mediterranean shrimp orzo salad. Pretty simple. You got your shrimp. You got to make a vinaigrette like he was talking about. Olive oil. You want some type of acid in there, so it's either red wine vinegar, or maybe you might want a citrus, a little bit of honey to balance the citrus out, mustard, oregano, right? Because you're talking about Mediterranean flavors that, almost like Greek-like. And that's your vinaigrette. You'll make enough of it. You'll take some of it and marinate the shrimp in it, just like he was talking about, for a few minutes. And you can either do it in the skillet or put it on the grill, as he said. Next, you get this orzo. It's a tiny little grain, a pasta grain. It looks like if you haven't had it, it looks like a rice. It's not pasta. Cook it off. And as soon as that's done, you take the remaining part of that vinaigrette and you pour it right over top of that orzo so it can absorb all of those flavors. And then once you have that done, you're just going to add a few veggies to it, some cherry tomatoes, some cucumbers. There's the smaller ones are called the Kirby cucumbers, which are really good if you can get them. A little bit of dill, some scallions, and some feta cheese. And then you put your shrimp that's cooled. You put that in the dish. You got a beautiful looking dish with, the shrimp color, the little red tomatoes, a little bit of green, and the feta, and that was it called Sunslinger is what you guys are drinking that you didn't share with me down here in Virginia. Right. You have your Sunslinger, and you got this nice little dish that's hearty. It's got some shrimp in it, beautiful color. And if you put the shrimp on the grill, you got that little wood smoky flakes going through it. I think it's a wonderful dish. Shrimp and orzo Mediterranean salad.
We're working on this coach's cookbook. Like, this has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen. Love you, brother. Appreciate you.
Love you too. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. That's Barry Thompson, Fairfax Football Academy and Elite 11. He's been around it. And again, he broke it down for you with Word Break. Come back. We'll have some Hall of Fame talk.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Smoothbrook, Illinois.
When everything is changing, you need a store that's a constant. A store that has the brands your family loves and the value that you need. A store where you can stock up, pick up, and drive up. A store that's close to home and feels like home. A store that puts the health and safety of you and your family above all else. And a store that's always here to help. At Kohl's, we don't know what next year will look like. We just know that we'll be here for you no matter what. Kohl's, here today, here to stay. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey guys, looking for that extra confidence when it's time to have fun? Let me tell you about BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew tablets help men combat all forms of ED. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. And here's a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code TICKET at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TICKET, to receive your first month free.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A very summer-like day on the way. We'll see hot, windy conditions. South winds could gust over 25. We'll reach up to a high of 90 this afternoon. Heading into tonight, a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms late, a low down to 67. Continued chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, much cooler, with a high of 74. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Building a house today is completely different than it was a year ago. It's great. It's a great time to build a house.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
Interest rates are fantastic. Our lot selection is fantastic. Being a large volume builder like we are, we tend to get very good discounts from our suppliers, which has been very helpful. So if you want to build right now, it's a great time to call, make an appointment, set a budget, sign a contract. You're locked in. I'm locked in. Let's figure out your location. Let's get that lot reserved. It allows you then to have some freedom and room to sell your home for a great profit. In the end, it's going to be a win-win for you.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
Everyone loves a good deal, and there's plenty of great options right now at Brown Shoe Fit for their summer clearance sale. Check out their multiple sizes and widths and sandals with brands like Clarks, Keen, Aetrex, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection because this sale only goes to the end of the month. It's the summer clearance sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Welcome to today's episode of The Great Unknowns. Last time, we talked about why chickens can't just cross the road in peace. Today's topic is the great unknowns of the future. Like, am I ready for what life throws at me? Well, that answer is easy. Just call a local State Farm agent. State Farm agents will help you plan for the what-ifs in life so you know what to expect if the unexpected happens. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Back to old school with DP and J. Presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
He's now a member of the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, that's what you look like.
Oh, Corey Kispert.
Yeah, whatever his name is. You look just like him. All you need is a headband.
All this will be gone tomorrow. Okay, not all of it. I got a haircut and beard appointment tomorrow morning. Very exciting day.
Yeah, what kind of haircut are you getting? Are you getting the shaggy little feather, the little feathered, or you
low fade?
Oh, the low fade. You ain't going Southside fade.
Just a low fade. That's all I know.
You're not getting sidebars on it.
You need to get a couple lines in your hair, man.
Get the straight. Should I have him put a couple lines tomorrow?
Yeah, get a couple lines in your hair, man.
You guys, I'll be with you from 4 to 4:30. So.
Get either a couple lines in your hair or get the Larry Johnson, the one right down the middle, or get your eyebrow.
I usually have him do the eyebrows too.
Yeah, but get the line.
Do I get the line that just goes all the way across?
No, Nick. You see,
that's what they that's what they do though. Is that they line it up with the line that goes on the side of your hair? Is they do it here?
They're doing too much.
And they go right there.
They're doing too much.
I'm just
tell them. We'll send you some pictures of what you.
No, I'm
vanilla
gonna do
ice,
the low fade.
ice baby.
I'll have them put a couple
get
lines.
you vanilla ice.
Ice baby with the 2 lines and then another line in your eyebrow. Or have them put like a soul patch in your eyebrow, like a blonde soul patch in your eyebrow.
Nah, I am going to just get the couple lines in the hair in the side.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get them on both sides or just one?
It depends on how you feel, man.
I think just one side.
Just one.
Don't want
to go over the top.
No, get them on both.
I'm okay.
But then if you tell somebody I got lines on my hair, then then they be like, where it's at. Then you got to go like this. They'll know it once they look.
It's like, come here, girl.
We'll see.
So you turn to that. Well, you could get Beat OU, like put in it.
I could.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Why not? You don't have faith?
Don't want to get into a fight.
Don't have faith?
Don't twist it around on me.
You know,
who are you getting in a fight with?
He's going to Norman.
Oh, you think you get beat up?
Yeah, I don't know. I will be wearing. I'll be wearing ticket gear. So
he said, "Yeah."
I'll be wearing ticket gear, so we'll see.
You can't bob and weave. You kind of husky. You be all right.
Oh, thanks, man.
I mean, you look like you got a little strength to you. You be all right.
The text line said the Boz.
That's what you need to get is Boz and get somebody to color that thing.
Don't even know what it is.
Red and
you don't know what the
two
Boz?
long lines in there, and then just get the red and white.
Look up the Boz. Yeah, he went all the way in. He went all the way in.
Then wear you like a tank top and then put some little wristbands around.
I'm not doing that.
Did you ever play against him?
No.
See,
I watched him a few times. He's cold-blooded, man. In college.
Yeah, but you ain't never lose to Oklahoma.
No.
See, I was going to spend the day asking you about, well, year 1, what do you remember? Year 2, what do you remember against them?
Oh, it was all heads to bed when we played them cats. They had talent, though.
So
they was talented, but
the first time you played them, what memory comes to mind?
Oh, it was just it was a good, hard-fought game, physical game. Like every other game, but it was just, it was nature versus nurture. Nature always wins. Know that, Nick? What movie is that from? Wedding Crashers. That's probably a movie you need to watch.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
So the dad comes from generations of fine breeding. And Grandma. Grandma's still my favorite character in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like Grandma had no shame. She was like, whatever, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Harold from text line says, yeah, you could get the Boz cut, which makes you look like the sheriff from Fansville. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And you need a rabbit foot earring. You get an earring? Would you get the earring?
No.
You need to get one of those long ones that dangle down there.
I should not. I'll do lines in the side.
Okay.
But we'll draw the line there.
Okay.
I need it clean. I need it simple. I just like it clean. This
Okay.
is I hate this, but we're fine.
Jay, did you ever get the earrings? You ever get your ears pierced?
Yeah, I got my left one pierced.
You still got it?
Please tell me that story. See,
Oh.
those are always stories like that. Never.
Oh man, I
See,
remember this, man. I remember this.
Before you get rolling on that-
it wasn't a good experience.
Before you get rolling on that story, one last thing. Your beard's looking a little rough today. You didn't trim it up, didn't line it up.
I'm gonna do it tonight.
Okay,
It's 2
I hope
days
so.
before the game. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna look proper.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow, and
and I'm gonna look smooth.
I'm gonna have the straight edge razor and everything on there.
He says, "You know how to spell that, right? You know how to spell it." He didn't say smooth. He said smooth.
SMOOVE.
Smooth.
Smooth. That's what I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna say, Mike, I need to look smooth.
That's all you need to say.
And the guy, he's gonna be like, all right, dude, I
That's
got
all
you.
you need to say.
So
Yeah, that's all he
right.
says. That's
Now
it.
the earring, please.
The earring thing. I think I was in high school. That was when Jordan had the one earring, right? And
they just murdered Nick on text line.
Bro, they
Joe the plumber
tearing me apart.
Joe the plumber just murdered him.
They tearing me apart.
Nick, you go ahead and read that.
I'm out. I'm not doing it. Let's just delete that one. Boom.
You want to see a dead body?
Boom. Joe the plumber canceled.
He said,
No, DP.
Is that bad, Nick?
Jay, come here. Come here.
I deleted
I'll
it.
show it to you. I'll show it
We're
to
done.
you.
We're done.
Oh, you deleted
I
it.
deleted it.
You literally deleted it.
Joe the plumber has been canceled.
Oh man, that is.
Here's the deal. We can talk about it during the break. We're not having that go on air.
Oh,
yeah.
that
We ain't doing that on air.
man, he Billy Jack kicked you in the jaw,
I
man.
don't-
He hit you with the Randy Orton.
I don't understand why. I don't know what I did to have that happen. He hurt me.
He came out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what I did.
Man, like that was like he just rolled up like New Jack City. That's just like New
Bad,
Jack City.
bad. Like I've
He
been
just
called,
rolled up in broad daylight.
I've been called all the names in the book on the text line. That's the first time somebody's.
I'm gonna write it down.
Hey man, Nick, I'll get the heat off you, man. So I was in high school. Jordan, remember
You're
when
just gonna have that in your notebook then tomorrow. You're gonna open it up and be like,
Michael Jordan had the one earring, right?
Yeah.
So I thought I was a little basketball player, and I just kind of moved, from DC, Frederick, Maryland, or whatever. And I went to the mall, got me one. don't hey, Joe the plumber said with everything everybody probably had on their mind. Nick, I'm telling you, everybody had that on their mind for months.
But we don't need to say it.
You're right.
Oh,
that's body for real.
Here's the deal. I will tweet it out later. So go to my Twitter. I will tweet it out. I will not say it. I will tweet it out.
I can't even finish my story.
That is the.
I ain't never heard anybody say that to you, man. Say that about another man.
Jay, let's ask the.
They just said you an L to the 7. You straight square.
Let's just ask the question that we're all asking. What did I do to?
I don't know. Was it something before I got here?
No, I barely talked.
No,
He's been saving that for you for a while.
I don't understand. It's been his drafts. And he's just been
He just been sitting there, and then he got to it where he had time for you today.
He's like, I remember I typed this up.
Yeah, and then he just finally.
I'm
going
to tweet it now.
No,
I'm going to tweet it out. Jay, tell your earring story.
So I got the earring, right?
Okay.
And then I had a girlfriend at the time. She took me, got an earring or whatever. I walk in the house, and my dad was like, "Yo, what is that in your ear?" And I was like, I tried to, base up, and I was like, "That's an earring." He's like, "Oh." He's like, "Oh, you like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You a chump?" Right? I was like, "What you mean?" He's like, "When I grew up, only chumps had earrings." He's like, "Oh, you a chump now, right?" So then he got on the phone, called up my uncle, and he was talking right so loud that I could hear him in the next room, in my room. He's like, "You never believe what your nephew did." He's like, "He just up in here looking like a straight punk. He got an earring in his ear." Then I took it out, and then it just never closed up.
Oh, so you still got the hole?
Yeah.
Nice.
and I'm doing this so I've got the quote marks, so nobody can get mad. Like I'm not saying.
I tweeted out, I was like, Joe the plumber needs to chill. This ain't right. That's not whatever.
Well,
that's all right, good.
No,
I'm gonna tell you this though. If it ain't true, then it really wouldn't bother you, right?
Yeah. No, I think
hilarious.
it is funny. It is funny. I just don't know what Joe the plumber. Why
what caused all this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like
Is it something I said during my show?
I don't know. I mean, because if this offends you, I'm not going to tweet it.
No, whatever, man.
But it was
Like,
funny.
Just know. I feel like a dad. Just know once you push that tweet button, you can't take it back.
I like it.
So what I would then say is, Joe the plumber, you need to tweet that.
Yeah, Joe, more.
Joe can tweet it. Joe can tweet it. I can't. So how about that? That's just. Yeah, no. So I'll tell you a story. So back in my younger days, so I had my gang that I played flag football with, softball with, basketball with. We played in the league, grown ups. And we made a rule. We said, listen, if we win the state title in softball, which was a big deal because we had to play really well for 12 games. And we're like, if we win this, we're all gonna get our ears pierced. And it was my team. Like the team had, like, we were actually sponsored by the Posse.
Yeah.
So we were that was actually our name. We were the Posse, and we went to states and we got to the Final Four, and everybody was like, are we gonna do this? We're gonna do this. We actually messed around and won. Like we messed around, and when I say we messed around and won, there was zero reason why we should be the state champions in softball.
Right.
Like it didn't matter, but we won. So we all had a few beverages. They all lined up at this spot, and they were all getting their ears pierced. And because I was the captain and like the manager, I was going to be last. And they go through, and they're all still a little above the line of intoxication.
Right.
Well, when they got to, everybody else was through. And I was like, nope. And walked out. I left. I didn't see them for 2 days. I still never got my ear pierced.
Dang.
I was like,
you messed up team camaraderie, man.
Well, no, because we ended up going to nationals, and I think we finished third that year. So I ain't really messed it up. But yeah, I wasn't gonna happen, bro. Like I was trying to be on TV in the 90s.
Right, yeah.
A brother on TV in the 90s that's gonna wear an earring.
You would have to have like a little Jericho there.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen.
Got that Arsenio Hall going on, talking about roof,
yeah,
right?
that wasn't gonna happen. So we'll throw the break, we'll come back, we'll close out. It's gonna
Nick,
be.
You need to bark one more time.
Go and give us one.
Hey, hold on. Did you see the head go back there?
He really did. Like he made room.
You know when I know he's never had an alcoholic beverage, but when he does, when he starts having too many drinks, he's gonna start barking.
Yes, he is.
So I said, I can see you right now in Iguanas or one of them bars up there barking.
I'll just do it at some point during the next segment. I won't tell you when. I could do it in the middle of your sentence. It's just gonna happen.
We got to talk about my man
Joe the plumber just laid it out.
Joe the plumber, man. Where you at, player?
Yeah, we'll come back.
Is he on Twitter?
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We'll find out.
Identify yourself, Joe the plumber.
We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Everyone loves a good deal, and there's plenty of great options right now at Brown Shoe Fit for their summer clearance sale. Check out their multiple sizes and widths in sandals with brands like Clarks, Keen, Aetrex, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection because this sale only goes to the end of the month. It's the summer clearance sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus, as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie.
Andy, when people drive by your lot, they don't see as many new Hondas as normal, but I'm told you have hundreds on the way.
We sure do, Charlie. We have more than 500 to choose from that are either here or on the way. Most of them are inbound.
Do you still have that great financing, Andy?
We do, as low as 0% APR financing on select new Honda.
What about used cars and trucks?
Well, right now we have more than 120 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, in just about any make or model. And we have over 50 certified pre-owned Hondas to choose from.
Andy, that is really great news for your customers. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Venue at Home is your answer for locally made, freshly prepared meals delivered to your door every week. Our meals come ready to heat and eat. With sizes for 2 people or 4, Venue at Home is perfect for busy people who want a quick, easy, and delicious meal option to share with your roommates or feed the whole family. Add on from our wide selection of appetizers, sides, desserts, alcohol, and more. Receive a discount on your meals by subscribing to get Venue at Home delivered every week. Visit venueathome.net to order today. That's venueathome.net.
Want to get a hot and perfect body fast? It's so easy. All you have to do is eat lots of bananas, but peels only, and always be sweating, but never look sweaty. That's disgusting.
Don't follow extreme routines. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness. Now through September 16th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. And get back to a real routine with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends September 16th. See Club for details.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What before we get too far into Nick, what game is Connor doing tonight?
It is Elkhorn South and Elkhorn South and Lincoln Southwest.
Okay. All right. I gotta make a note. That is so funny.
Hit you with the quick one though.
Yeah, that is so funny.
You guys weren't looking.
That is so funny. That dog is just like he had a dog that was confused. His dog was conflicted.
I had to make it happen quick.
Like your dog was conflicted, bro.
Eating kibbles and bits.
Yeah, he just he's conflicted. What do you think happens tonight, Jay? You got Washington football team and the Giants.
I don't know. It's crazy because the Giants with what do they call that dude, Danny Dimes? he got like 40 turnovers in like 30 games, even more than that. Or less than that. So, but what half of his 7-8 wins or 8 wins is against the Washington football team. So I like Washington football team's legit defense to do well against him. I think Saquon's out, so I think they win. I think Heineke, this is it, man. If he wants to be the franchise quarterback, this is it. Fitzmagic is out. Rivera and those guys like him. This is a chance. If you don't end up being the franchise quarterback, you'll be well compensated to be, the modern day Ryan Fitzpatrick if somebody gets hurt, or you be the holdover guy. So I like him. I like Terry McLaurin. I like Gibson. I think they have an underrated offensive line when they're healthy. And so I think they're a better machine right now, a better team. They just got to come and play like it. And so they kind of let one go last week against the Chargers. So I think they'll be more than focused this week.
Taylor Heineke he has a 2-year, $4.75 million deal. Remember, a year ago this time, this dude was taking classes at OU. He wasn't even playing ball.
All right.
Talk about a life change. Dude was chilling. He was at home studying online, and this year he's making $2 million plus.
Well, you know what's crazy is that he he got his notoriety by playing in, I call him a like one-off game where he's playing when it, didn't matter. But he played well down the stretch last year,
Well, he had the one game against the Bucks.
Right.
Where, he was the guy.
He was balling.
He was the guy where Alex went out and Heineke went in, and it was like, wait a minute. What is going on here? This dude's balling. Remember, he was one possession away from knocking out the Bucks.
Yeah. And that's what kind of set it in motion. So look, man, once you get your chance, you got to, always talk to athletes about it. You're going to get one or two opportunities in college and the pros. Now, the guys that are like, the Peyton Mannings and all, if need be, they would get numerous opportunities. So for him, this is another chance for him to take advantage of his opportunity.
Well, so this is the way it worked. He got $1 million signing bonus.
Sure. I mean, they got him for the cheap.
Wow. And now he's a starting quarterback.
Yeah. But they got him for cheap.
Man.
Why Fitzmagic is
$10 million a year.
Chilling.
$10 million a year.
For 3 games.
No, he tweeted it out. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
he got
Sorry,
you.
He found me. He found me
got
on
you.
Twitter. Sorry
He
to
got
interrupt.
you.
Sorry to interrupt.
He got you. He got you. Oh, man. Oh, man, he got you. Nick, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm sorry. Hey,
I ain't retweeting it.
Nick over here blushing.
we will load it up. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Hi,
Stay
I'm
tuned.
Charlie Stone, and joining me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie.
Andy, when people drive by your lot, they don't see as many